ipresenta ang affidavit ni Las Cañas bilang bahagi ng testimonya at bilang bahagi ng naging investigation ng Special Task Force ng National Bureau of Investigation. It was never claimed by the prosecution that this affidavit is notarized. Kailanman po ay hindi sinabi ng prosecution na notarized ang dokumentong ito. Ito po'y ipresenta bilang bahagi lamang ng testimonya ng witness at bilang bahagi din ng investigation ng NBI. To conclude, Your Honor.
Short rejoinder on that, Your Honor.
The lead prosecutor is not yet finished.
To conclude, Your Honor, the prosecution finds it unnecessary.
Objection, Your Honor. Same ground.
Allow the lead prosecutor to finish.
The prosecution finds it unnecessary to conduct redirect examination.
Thank you, counsel. Duly noted. Do
Just
you
a
still
short-
want a rejoinder?
Just a
counsel,
short
for this
rejoinder
matter?
on the Las Cañas
Yes,
issue.
counsel.
Again, Your Honor, according to the rules, an affidavit must be testified to and identified by the person or the author of that affidavit. And in this case, such was not done. So, and an additional manifestation, Your Honor, that considering that it is unsigned and unnotarized, the law considers it as a mere scrap of paper. That's just a manifestation. And
Then let instead of letting this be an ongoing argument between both counsels, let the chair state.
Your
for
Honor,
the-
may I just correct the manifestation
No
of the
need,
defense?
counsel. Let the chair state for the fourth time. The affidavit of Las Cañas was not offered as an authentic document executed by the affiant. Only that it was part of the documents used by Director Matibag in his open source investigation, as also clarified for the fifth time, if I will count it, by Senator Judge Lacson, that it was only part of the investigation of the NBI through what is called an open source investigation. Again, to reiterate, not as proof that of its authenticity and the truth of the contents contained in the affidavit or document purporting to be executed by Las Cañas.
And that it is signed, Your Honor.
Let that be the end of it, counsels, if you may. And we can proceed to the interventions and interjections of senator judges. Forgive my inadvertence earlier. Chair will recognize in this order, in the order that they indicated to the chair, as pointed out by the clerk of court, Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo, Senator Judge Villanueva, Senator Judge Pangilinan, Senator Judge Aquino, and Senator Judge Padilla as of now. Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo is recognized for his interventions. You may proceed, sir, when you are ready. You have 2 minutes.
Mr. Witness, kahapon naitanong ko sa inyo yung kaso ni Ronel Mas. Ngayon, tatanong ko sa inyo, pamilyar ho ba kayo sa kaso ni Ronald Kibuyen, Maria Catherine Seron, and Joe Mark Ebcay?
Narinig ko po sila.
Ano po yung pagkakarinig mo sa kaso?
Sila po ay inaresto ng PNP, CIDG. Yung isa po sa, I think it's an Osamis dahil meron siyang nagsabi na patayin si dating Pangulong Duterte at nag-offer ng 100 million na reward. Yung naman pong ubayan sa Boracay ata, may offer din, I'm not mistaken, 150 million po yata na reward.
So, itong tatlo po, sa pagkakalam niyo, ano mga trabaho nito?
Yung isa po, construction worker, hindi ko po maalala yung isang.
Yung isa ay unemployed college graduate.
Ayun.
So, the reason why I asked that, kasi tulad ni Ronel Mas, isang teacher, at itong tatlo, mga ordinary mamayan, i-compare natin doon sa ginawa ni VP Sara at saka ni Mayor Baste sa ating Pangulo, pagbabanta, almost the same yung nangyari. So, kamay na bakal ang pinairal kapag mga ordinaryong mahirap na mamayan ang pinapairal ninyo dyan sa law enforcement. Pero kapag makapangyarihan mga tao, you treat them with kids' gloves. Why is that?
Respectfully po, Your Honor, unang-una, I cannot speak to the behavior of the law enforcement at that time. But I agree with you na yung pag-aresto po sa kanila is warrantless arrest. That's the reason why na-dismiss po lahat ng kaso na yon. Yung sa ngayon naman po, yung mga pangyayari na ito, we go to the case build up and file a case. Katulad po nung nangyari kay Vice Presidente, meron pong nakapending ngayon na kaso. At kung ito po ay may file sa korte, that is the time that the court will issue a warrant of arrest. So meron po tayong prosesong sinusunod po.
Mali nga yung pagka-aresto. Actually, warrantless arrest yung nangyari noon. Pero meron bang nag-utos why it was done by the law enforcement people at that time? And what's the difference between the law enforcement back then and the law enforcement people now?
Well, I can only speak po for my bureau na NBI. We are making sure that we are following the process and the law. In any case, wala pong malaki o maliit na kaso. Ang tinitingnan po lagi natin dito ay ang ebidensya, ang batas at ang prosesong dapat pong sundin.
Okay. I'll give you an example. Halimbawa, yung nangyari ngayon na pagbabanta sa ating Pangulo, nangyari noon sa panahon ni Pangulong Duterte at nagbanta si Leni Robredo. Halimbawa lang, of course, Leni Robredo would not do that kasi I know, wala sa karakter niya. Nagbanta si Leni Robredo kay Pangulong Duterte at matindi yung outburst niya at pagbabanta. At ganun din naggagawa ng follow-up ang kanyang anak. What would have happened? Sa tingin niyo ba, possible na merong gagawang pag-aresto si PRD tulad ng ginawang pag-aresto dun sa mga teachers, sa teacher, construction worker, at unemployed college graduate?
Well, respectfully, it's calling for an opinion, but siguro meron po akong pwedeng pagbasihan. Base na rin po sa inyong sinasabi na construction worker, teacher, inaresto dahil sa banta, posible po. May possibility na baka arestuin po kaagad ang Vice Presidente noon.
Thank you, Mr. Witness.
Thank you, Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo. Senator Judge Villanueva may proceed with his interjection when he's ready. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Presiding Officer, Mr. President. Just two quick questions to our dear witness. Your Honor, malaking bahagi po, Director Matibag, nung sa talakayan dito sa korte at ng buong sambayanan, whether or not natukoy na ba yung sinasabing alleged tinutukoy ng pangalawang Pangulo doon po sa kanyang video. At binanggit niyo po na may inaasahan po kayong development sa loob ng 3 hanggang 6 na buwan. Maaari po ba niyong paliwanag, Director, sa pangkalahatan lamang po kung ano po yung layunin ng mga natitira pang bahagi sa investigasyon po ninyo? Just to clarify lang po, no? Kasi when you testified that the individual's identity will become clearer, does it mean, sir, that the Bureau is now focused on confirming or verifying the identity of a particular individual referred to by the respondent rather than determining whether such person exists in the first place? Kumbaga po, yung tanong lamang po dito, sinasagot po ay sino na yung kinontrata rather than hindi po yung meron nga bang kinontrata?
Your Honor, dalawang bagay po para makarating po tayo dun sa kasagutan sa inyo pong katanungan. Una, sinabi ko nga po with certainty, meron kinontrata. Ano po yung basihan? Mismo ang Vice Presidente na publicly, it is an extrajudicial admission na tinanggap na niya at sinabi na niya na meron akong kinausap na mag-assassin o mamamatay tao para patayin ang presidente at siya ay pumayag. So that is an admission na meron po. Pangalawa, bakit po natin tinutukoy at tinahanap? Dito na po pumapasok yung kailangan natin siyang makuha, hindi upang sabihin na kami talaga ay nag-usap ni Vice Presidente. Kasi yun naman pong sinasabi ko nga, yung pag-uusap na may papatay at hindi naman nagawa, wala naman po tayong pinag-uusapan na krimen doon. Pero ano po ba ang tinutugunan namin sa paghahanap namin sa tao na yon, sa individual na yon? Yun na po yung sinasabi namin that we have to address the issue of national security, the safety of the President, which is a primary mandate of the National Bureau of Investigation. So pagkat ang banta po sa Pangulo, kapag ito ay seryoso tulad po nitong banta na ito, ito rin po ay dadaos ng ligalig, kaguluhan, at disrespect po sa ating law and order. And that is the very purpose of the existence of the National Bureau of Investigation.
Yung binanggit niyo na may mga persons of interest. So yun nga po, no? Tinutumbok na po nito na nandun na po kayo dun sa sino ang kinontrata rather than meron nga bang kinontrata.
Tama po, Your Honor.
Thank you, Director Matibag. Nabanggit niyo po kahapon din yung parte ng network ng respondent na tinatawag na Davao Death Squad. Batay po ito dun sa ebidensyang nakalap po ninyo, sabi niyo sa NBI, at meron po kayong nakikitang impormasyon na nagsasabi gusto kong malaman kung meron po kayong nakikitang impormasyon na nagsasabi na aktibo pa rin po ba ito noong 2024 kaya naging part ito ng inyong assessment sa kapasidad ng respondent?
Sa aming po investigasyon lumalabas na meron pa pong mga existing. At katunayan, without naming names, ganito po, ilagay na natin sa konteksto na nagsimula po kami sa maraming pangalan and we narrowed it down. Siguro ito na inaantay ng marami rin na finally ma-identify natin. We are narrowing it down already to less than 20 individuals at may mga pangalan na po kami nito. Sa katunayan po, yung iba po rito, kausap na po namin yung kanilang mga pamilya o kakilala. So, ganun po yung proseso. That's why sinabi ko, baka in 3 to 6 months, we can finally identify kung sino yung personalidad na yun po.
Let me wind up, Mr. Presiding Officer. No? In relation again to the Davao Death Squad that we were talking about, aktibo pa po ba sila noong 204? Aktibo pa rin po ba sila sa kasalukuyan sa inyong nagpapatuloy na investigasyon? Tinatanong po natin ito, Ginoong Pangulo, para malaman natin kung yung ginamit po ng National Bureau of Investigation ay base lamang dun sa historical background na binabanggit po kahapon o meron po na nakalap na mga bagong impormasyon ang NBI na hiwalay na impormasyon tungkol po dito.
Well, again, kanina po, tinanong po ng kagalang-galang Senator Erwin Tulfo, we are not limiting it to the Davao Death Squad. Sabi ko nga po, meron pong mga aktibo pa sa serbisyo na men in uniforms at kasama rin po dito ang Vice President Sara Security Group po.
So even those who are actively involved right now, men in uniform, is that what you're saying?
That is something that I can say because general naman, it will not
Kindly
go
wind
to the
up.
identity.
Yeah, that'll be
Meron
all,
po.
Mr. Presiding Officer. Thank you, Director
Salamat
Matibag.
po.
Salamat po.
Thank you, Senator Judge Villanueva. Senator Judge Aquino is recognized. You may proceed, sir, when you're ready. You have 2 minutes.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer. Isang tanong lang po kay Director Matibag. Doon po sa AO11, nakalagay po doon yung mga miyembro ng task force, no? At yung isang miyembro po doon ay mula sa Transnational Crime Division.
Opo.